Connection with Shade Network activated. Audio file download commencing. Files marked extremely sensitive. Strategic Homeland Division only. Agent, commencing transmission.
What's up, agents? You're listening to episode 193 of SitRep Radio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of the Division 2. My name is Mike, and joining me as always is my co-host, Robert.
Hello.
Do you have any wine this week?
Yes, of course I do.
Good. And I'd like to make a huge welcome back. It's been a while, Luke. Welcome back.
That's right. The rumours on the internet are false. I am alive.
And in general, we're all back as well because we had last week off. Huge apologies. But I was sick. Luke was recovering from being sick. And Rob had an A&A meeting to go to, so unfortunately he couldn't make it.
I missed that as well.
Were you drunk?
I was in the pub.
Anyway, I hope you guys and our listeners have had a great week. Welcome to any new listeners of the show. Holy shit, there's a lot to talk about this week. We finally get a release date for episode 3 DLC, and then massive go ahead and drop a huge reveal on Tuesday, the 10th, I think it was?
11th.
The 11th. I don't know what day I'm on.
It's the 12th today. It was yesterday.
I'm on my second sick week, so I'm not doing very well at the minute. But yeah, basically revealing the future of the Division 2 in Year 2. And yeah, let's get down to some news.
State of the game.
Okay, so it's safe to say that the state of the game is heading in a pretty good direction, as this finally going to be something to play, boys.
No.
Wait, does this mean I'm going to have to take a plane back from Russia?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you're going to be going to a couple of different places, not just Russia.
Ooh.
Yeah. So in one of, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how you guys feel about it, in one of the weirdest marketing hype trains I've ever seen, Episode 3, returning to NYC, Coney Island, was released today. And it was announced yesterday. And I don't know how you feel about it, but it's the worst marketing campaign to build hype for a content, to bring people back to your game who are interested in playing it, I've ever seen.
Why? Was it because a lot of streamers play it on stream while they were revealing something else?
Well, there's that as well. I completely forgot that was going down as well. And for the next bit we're going to talk about, people already have early access to the missions for some other stuff that we're going to talk about today, which is kind of like, why would you do that? But there we go. But yeah, if you are obviously waiting for the Coney Island DLC, it is available to all players for free. However, only Year 1 pass owners can access the new content today. Everyone else can jump in next week, and you get access to a couple of named weapons and the chameleons in there, the new exotic.
The what?
A lot of chameleon?
Do you mean the chameleon?
Chameleon, sorry. My throat. I got excuse this week. Fuck you.
Okay.
But come on, I can't be the only one like a little bit fucking confundeled by the fact that they've marketed. It's probably a fucking Harry Potter reference. Fuck off. That they've marketed episode 3 like this, and then spent like 4 weeks going, "Don't worry, guys, it's coming soon. It's coming soon, very soon." But then, yeah, I can understand why they did it this way, but it's so fucking odd.
It is, but given the reception that episode 1 and 2 both got, and then they knew what was coming after episode 3, they're just like, yeah, fuck it, we're not spending any money on advertising this shit, nobody cares. And here's all the news about Title Update 8.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense because it's like, all right, we've got this awesome stuff coming. and you can jump back in and play this new content right now, and the other stuff's coming pretty soon as well. Talking about the other stuff anyway. Before we move on, I take it none of us has had chance to even jump back into the Division yet.
No,
I couldn't even if I wanted to.
Well, no, because you haven't got the pass. Kind of looking back, do you think the pass was worth it, Rob?
no.
Are you glad you didn't buy it, Luke?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
I just wanted, because there's been some discussions on social media and Reddit over stuff that was revealed yesterday, pricing and all the rest of it, and we'll get
into that later.
Maybe, or we'll forget about it and completely forgot.
Let's put it this way: they should have listened to us for the last 6 months. Then it would not have been a surprise.
Well, it's funny you say that, because it's like someone's been listening to us for like the last 2-3 years. Because I'm pretty sure if we had to listen back to what we thought was coming in year 2 of the Division 1, we would have been
if we had the
foresight.
No, the enthusiasm or the effort or the time to do it, we could probably find out all the episodes where we suggested everything that's coming in this match.
There you go, Mike. You're off sick. Get onto it.
I did that once before for what, episode 50 or episode 100?
100, I think.
I listened to all 100 episodes again in the space of 2 weeks, and I'm not doing that again. I love you guys, but it was a lot to get through. We talk way too much.
It is a podcast, just us talking.
It's generally what podcasts are, Rob. But, I mean, I should have been able to skip through most of it, because a lot of it was just us going, yes, or agreeing with each other. A lot.
Like awkward pauses. You could skip all the awkward pauses. That would cut off like 90% of the listening time.
Yeah, that'd be great. But we're British, we're polite. We don't want to step on each other's feet, so we do weird shit like that. Anyway, 2-3 years ago, I'm sure if someone wants to go back and check out the podcast before year 2 reveal of the Division 1, we would have been like, man, you know what's coming? It's going to be like a Taken King style expansion. They're going to have all this shit in it. And we got I'm pretty sure at the time, I could be wrong, it was announced as seasons, which ended up being global events. It was something like that, wasn't it?
I think it was given the title seasons to start with, yeah.
Yeah, and we were like, because something else that happened this week as well, all that information got leaked prior to the year 2 announcement in March, right? So we already knew that seasons or global events were coming, and we're like, is that it? Is that it for year 2? And then obviously from that, we got global events, which are pretty cool. And then we had 1.8. Fast forward to this week, and there's been inklings on Twitter of people going to a Division event last week to see some behind the scenes stuff. Now, gonna be honest, you don't fly people out to an event to see the episode 3 content. I wouldn't have said.
No,
I wouldn't have said anyway.
Nobody's getting on that plane, are they?
No, and I don't think anyone's going for global events, right? And then Tuesday, there was like all this hype building up that there was going to be a huge reveal stream for the future of the Division 2 to see the first, to have a first look at the expansion for the Division 2. And I was like, what?
Even that bit itself was handled really secretively, though, wasn't it? Like the hint that there was going to be a mega stream on the Tuesday was like literally on the Monday. I don't remember seeing it over the weekend. I mean, I was pretty drunk this weekend, so I might have missed it being launched on the Sunday or whatever. But yeah, by the way, tomorrow you might want to watch our special state of the game.
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing anything until actually yesterday, like Tuesday.
No, I'm pretty sure they announced it on Monday. Yeah, they announced it on Monday.
It's just whether or not I missed it over the weekend, and I'm not giving quite enough credit where it's due. But I mean, even you'd think they'd build it up for maybe a week, wouldn't you? They're like, tune in this time next week, guys. Come on.
Didn't it leak on Monday?
It did leak on,
and maybe it
leaked
Tuesday morning or Monday night, I suppose, when we were asleep.
But it was only.
Okay.
I actually had a look at the leak after We're talking about it's really vague because we haven't. Basically, there is an expansion coming to the Division 2 very fucking soon.
Dude,
Really?
Yes.
Nobody listening to this doesn't know.
Yeah, I was going to say most people will know by now.
Holy shit! When's it coming out, Mike?
3rd of March,
Oh
dude.
my god!
That's this year, Rob, not next year. 2020. It's like 3 weeks, bro.
So not September then.
No, that's when the raid's coming, dude.
You were wrong on that one.
I joke. We'll get to the raid later.
Yes, we will.
But yeah, I kind of I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I thought it was really fucking shitty that, you know, it did kind of feel like people went out the way. I understand like there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of people out there that love the Division, much like us, and they love. You just want more from it, and it just kind of felt sad that people went out the way to try and find additional information and leak it and data mine it. And this happened back in the Division 1. I'm not surprised by it. It kind of felt a bit sad, but then I stayed away from it. And I don't know if you guys did.
I couldn't help myself. I had a good read on Tuesday morning.
Oh, okay.
But
so that's why you went too fast during the stream then.
Well, no, I wanted to watch the stream, and obviously some of the you can never trust data mining to start with, and then some of the leaks you don't know whether they're accurate or whether they're just really well put together posters and whatever. So I never truly believe anything until I've seen it from the genuine source. And I'm not usually one that goes looking for leaks and whatever, but you know, it was just way too easy to find. I was like, looked on our Discord, and they were like, "Yeah, don't go on Reddit and don't go on Twitter." Okay,
yeah,
well, the Twitter button's right there.
The only thing I checked was that the first image that was released, somebody had it on Twitter, and it was like the title of the expansion, which if you don't know already,
New York.
The Gangs of New York. No, Warlords of New York. We're going back to New York for this expansion, which is pretty cool. And I just looked at the image, and because it was blurry, I was like, "Is that a proper image?" And somebody had basically managed to get it off Xbox or Windows or something. And then, obviously, the hype built up all day yesterday on social media and all the rest of it. And I gotta be honest, I was hyped a little bit for it, but I still kind of felt like tentative because I feel like we've been let down before. You know what I mean? I feel like we've been in a situation where it's like, yes, there's content coming. I mean, look at the past year of content. Yes, we've had regular updates with gear and loot and all the rest of it, but it's not been enough incentive to keep playing, has there? For the last 10 months now? Longer than that.
I'd tentatively say 6. We didn't disappear anywhere near that early, did we? So
no, I haven't played properly since Christmas. Being honest, that's being completely honest. I know you guys have been in and out, probably a bit earlier than that.
I haven't played anything else other than Tarkov since I started playing Tarkov.
But that's standard Rob. Like, once you're in, and then you're done. I mean, we'll get down to...
Well, I kept saying I was going to try the hardcore stuff over Christmas, so I was obviously not playing Division before Christmas, and I've still not booted up to try hardcore mode.
Well, don't worry about it. You don't need to know.
Yeah.
Being honest, what were your expectations for year 2?
Honestly, something like this. I did, like, all the time we spent talking about it, you kind of brainwashed me that there was going to be a paid-for DLC expansion.
It had to be, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it had to be. If there wasn't, the game was done, because year 1 was weak. Let's not beat around the bush. You know, credit where credit's due later. We'll get into that, but, you know, call a turd. Year 1 was weak. The only thing, without going into too much before we've even talked about it, the only thing I would have wanted, and I might be stealing Rob's comments here from what we talked about in Discord last night, but I would have wanted more mode type features to come. But this is literally the day after they announced it, so that might be part of year 2 later on down the line. So let's not get too negative.
That is part of the seasonal thing.
Yeah.
I think if we get anything like that, we're not going to see it till possibly December time. You know, we've already got
September.
like a
fucking September.
Well, I'm just thinking ahead. You know, the team's only just finishing off this expansion as we speak. You know, it's 3 weeks away. that, you know, they're putting the finishing touches on it. They've got one team working on the raid. They said on the State of the Game today, yes, the State of the Game's, yes, the raid is coming. They got asked about future raids. They didn't answer it. And the reason is because they're only focusing on that raid at this time. They're not worried about anything else for the future. Yes, they probably do have plans. They're not going to tell us. Look at how they dropped episode 3. Look at how they dropped this expansion. Then, as much as they want to be clear with communication, there's just no. I just think they're in this boat of not wanting to promise another raid just yet before they've even got the second one out. And it's almost been a year since the game came out. So,
yeah,
kind of need to get a move on, especially with when the second raid drops. That could be as close to when the first raid dropped at this point.
Its anniversary, you mean?
What, the anniversary of when the first raid drops? Yeah. It could be as close as that, depending on what you determine as springtime in Sweden. It's up to you guys if you want to have a look up.
Is that the ambiguous release date they've given us?
That is
springtime.
That is the ambiguous release date.
Right, okay.
I
mean, that's better than winter 2020, I suppose, isn't it?
I think it makes a lot of sense with obviously the amount of loot changes and stuff that we're going to go through in the next 6 weeks. I don't think there's going to be a PTS for this at all. There's not.
TU8?
No,
I really hope not.
No,
I don't want to have to watch stay away from what I want to watch because people are playing shit that I don't want to see. That's just annoying. I mean, as good as PTSs are, I'd hate that people stream them. Just fucking stop giving away spoilers and shit. Let me enjoy the game when I want to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? But
point taken. Anyway, get back on track. The expansion. You know, they start off the live reveal stream 7 o'clock late last night. A bit of a late one. Kind of good though. It means all three of us could kind of sit down and chat together and watch the reveal stream. You
say late. I literally sat down 5 minutes before it started. It was just like, this is perfect timing.
Yeah. It's a bit bad for us to try and watch that than the State of the Game on a weekly basis because we all got like work and other stuff, family life and all the rest of it. Anyway, sob story over. And then they drop, I'm going to be honest, what they always do, a really fucking good trailer.
Oh, the trailer was excellent.
Yeah. Rob, what did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, it was good.
Standard Rob, thank you.
Standard Rob, yeah.
More effort went into that trailer than the whole content of year 1.
I mean, that's a sick burn, dude. But
told you it was a good trailer.
I'm messing. It was a really good trailer.
There was a lot of lore and like story building. I'm gonna be honest. I felt that gave more story than we probably had in the entire of the Division 2 story.
Yeah,
in that one trailer, and I think that really disappointed me because
I don't think that's true. I think it's story you want to hear rather than story that you just there. Story you're interested in rather than
but
story you don't really have, you're not invested in.
Excuse me. Question for you guys then. Like, should this story...
Sorry, I thought I'd just join in.
Fuck's sake, you can set me off. Should this story have been where they took the game in the Division 2 instead of the story we got originally? Do you think that would have kept people more on track?
Do you think we should have had this expansion 6 months ago?
I don't think they would have had the time 6 months ago. Destiny wouldn't have put out an expansion like this soon. That soon after the release of the game, would they? Would it take them a year? Over a year?
Yeah, Taken King was exactly a year.
No, I'm on about Destiny 2 with Forsaken.
Oh. Yeah, that was about a year as well.
Was that about a year?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Plus
it's almost like it's the model they want to follow.
But it's a good model.
Yeah, that was me putting my cynical hat on. Like, if they'd have given you this story as Division 2, where did they take the future content? If you chase after Aaron Keener as the base game, then what? What DLC did they give you that gets you hyped, that creates all the lore and everything that you want to draw people back in that may have left to go and play other stuff like us? Let's not beat around the bush. We've all disappeared to play Tarkov and what have you. So, if they give you too much to start with, there's nowhere to go.
True. But also, that is a very good question for the future of the game, right? Because if there is another expansion a year from now, or another game in 2 years from now, where does the story go? Do you start again completely from scratch? Because then you kind of have a disconnect from, it's like they've tried to continue it, but they're not continuing it, but now we are continuing it. It's like we need to really make up a decision of what direction we're going.
There'd be lots of places they could take Division 3. Like, Fei Lao could all of a sudden go bad because she gets disillusioned. Any number of characters from Division 1 could all of a sudden come back and they've gone rogue because they saw the light that Aaron Keener pioneered and all that.
Sure, I've said this before, but prequel.
Or prequel, yeah.
I Am Legend style prequel. I Am Legend, but without the zombies. Anyway, Luke.
Hi.
Warlords of New York. What is actually going to be happening in Warlords of New York, dude?
Oh, I mean, the title kind of gives it away. So we're heading back to New York.
Is DiCaprio in it?
He's not. No, he was busy.
Shit.
Saving polar bears and what have you.
What about Abraham Lincoln? I can't remember his name. What's his name? Rob, what's his name?
You mean Daniel Day-Lewis?
That's the one. The wood chopper.
No, he was not interested.
Have you not seen that film, Lee?
Yes.
Okay.
It's got Cameron Diaz in it as well, isn't it? Is it
Possibly.
Cameron Diaz?
I don't know.
Wow, you two remember the guys in films, don't you?
I feel like that's sexist, damn you.
You always look at that. Never mind. Yeah, so we're headed back to New York, Lower Manhattan, which Boris informs us was basically most of Brooklyn, up to and including Brooklyn Bridge.
I just wanted to step in and say, yes, it was Cameron Diaz.
Thank you. See? Stick with me.
I didn't doubt you.
You two,
I didn't say you were wrong.
You two carry on remembering the men in films. I'll remember the girls, all right?
Okay.
As we said earlier, the expansion is coming March 3rd, 2020. Warlords of New York is open world map, much like the rest of Division 2. And as we mentioned earlier, again, Aaron Keener is the focus of the story this time around. Warlords of New York is set 8 months after the outbreak of green poison that brought down society and killed millions. The agents of Washington are called back to New York. What? Stop interrupting me when I'm reading the script that you lovingly wrote.
It's now red poison.
Well, I didn't write the script this week. But the funny thing is, right? Rob pointed this out yesterday whilst we were watching the reveal trailer. He's like, "Are we going to go through all the colors of the rainbow?
We've had green
and we've had yellow. Yeah. Now we've got fucking red." Sorry, continue.
You sure?
I mean,
do you want to talk more about traffic lights and shit?
If you'd like.
Sing the rainbow song. Actually, yes, go for it. I would like you to sing live on the podcast.
No.
I thought you got challenged to do the was it Just Dance or Just Sing? I can't remember which one it was, Luke.
What?
I think you got challenged by the Locked On lads or something.
Nobody wants to hear me fucking sing, dude. Trust me.
Okay, fair enough.
You put me off where I got to now. A new biological attack has hit Lower Manhattan, and it is your job to hunt down the man responsible. That's right, Aaron Keener is back. Call sign Vanguard, and he is an agent from the First Wave. First Wave was activated shortly after the initial outbreak and the responsibility to restore order, but they were eventually abandoned and left to die in the Dark Zone. That is a moment where Keener lost faith and went rogue. He disappeared and gathered all the tools to engineer his own biological weapons. Now, 8 months later, Keener returned to New York and has attacked the Division headquarters, killing dozens of top Division agents and countless innocent civilians. It seems he's just getting started, though. Keep in mind that Keener knows the city inside out, and he is as lethal and as cunning as they come.
Boom. Well
he's brought friends, though, right, this time?
Yes, he has.
He's made some new friends.
Yes, we've got... So this is another thing Rob pointed out. The expansion is very, what did you say? Very much like another game that Ubisoft make.
Yeah, Wildlands.
Yeah. So basically in Wildlands, you go after like the cartel members, and then you're trying to go after like the head honcho. I can't remember the names of the people.
It's also very much like a Destiny expansion as well. But hey.
Yeah, it is when I think about it, because you go after the heads of like the Fallen.
Yeah, you go after the I can't remember what they're called.
Aliens.
Yeah. Space magic.
The space things. Yeah. So the fight, is it 4 or 5? I think it's
4.
4 rogue agents that are going to be coming back with Kena. I almost said Kenna for some reason. Kenna Toys. Vivian Conley. Javier.
Worst bad guy name ever.
Yeah, definitely.
Vivian.
Yeah.
Could have been Tabitha or something.
But you've got, all right. You've got
Matilda.
You've got Vivian Conley. Then you've got Javier Kajika. Cool name. James Dragov. Fucking cool name.
Yeah, wait, we heard his freaking story. It was like, what, an ex-police person? I'm like, are you sure?
You better be a sniper.
That's the least undercover Russian name I've ever heard. Hello, name is James Dragov. Anyway, who else we got?
And then Theo Parnell. I mean, that's a bit weak, but it's not as bad as Vivian.
That sounds like a footballer's name.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sounds like somebody was reading through the Farnell catalogue. I love the fact Ollie Rob's going to get that because of electronics and stuff.
I just don't like Vivian.
No,
I'm going to be scared of someone called Vivian.
Yeah, I won't be either.
But as main characters in this story, they look badass. Let's be honest. Vivian's leading the cleaners. I believe.
You're just going to drop that in there, are you?
Yeah.
Cleaners are back.
That's right, folks. The cleaners are back.
All the old factions are back, right?
Yep. You got who else? Javier's with the cleaners as well. You've got Dragov and Parnell are now linked to the Rikers, so the Rikers are back.
The LMB are back as well, but we don't really know much about that.
And the JTF are back.
They're not called JTF though.
But they're not called the JTF anymore.
They're called something else, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it was.
Peacekeepers.
That was it.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested a lot more in this story than what we had in the Division 2 so far. I'm gonna be honest. And we like when they did the recap on stream last week. I didn't watch it last week. I watched it I think Sunday or Monday this week, and it's just insane when you start piecing together what we went through in the Division 1 versus what we've done in the Division 2. Like, the whole point of Division 2 is to basically get the Shade Network back online. That's literally the story. Yes, you got a few other bits with the Pentagon and the BTSU figuring out who they're working for and President Ellis and all the rest of it, but it's just funny that the story from the Division 1 was a lot more interesting to, I think, a lot of us than the one that's been given in the Division 2. But this is making up for it from my point of view, so I'm happy. So we're going to get 5 campaign missions, main missions. We're going to get 8 side missions, and they're all going to be kind of linked together, which is kind of cool. We are going to be heading back to Lower Manhattan, as Luke said, or Brooklyn, as Boris was creaming himself over the fact we were fighting underneath the Brooklyn Bridge at one point last night. We're going to have 4 named zones, which all look very, very different to each other. So you're going to get the Financial District, 2 Bridges, Battery Park, and Civic Center.
Each of the 4 rogue agents that we mentioned earlier are in their own district, aren't they?
Yes.
So the way that I've sort of, I mean, it's not particularly difficult to figure out, but obviously the 5 main missions, you're going to have probably a main mission in each district to kill each of the rogue agents. And then your final main mission is going to be obviously the Aaron Keener boss fight. It's how the side missions link in that I'm quite interested in, because
it'll be a stronghold.
Yeah, I hope so. Like a really fucking hard one that takes like 4 hours to complete. That'd be awesome. But we'll see.
No, because that would be a raid.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you're just like, psych, it's a raid, really.
We're going to get improved boss fight mechanics.
Yeah.
So they're not just going to be hiding in a room. The one that they did show for was it Conley? Looks pretty cool with like the fire and all the rest of it. That looked really cool. And moving forward, they're bringing skills back from the Division 1, and they're introducing some new skills as well. And you will pick some of these up by killing each of the kind of the henchmen.
Yeah, each of the 4 rogues has got their own specific skill, hasn't they? So
yeah, unique skills and that. Yeah,
we're not going to go through each one, are we?
No, can't be bothered.
Cool, because I don't really want to know until I do it. You know,
well, the only one I can remember that is coming back is kind of the big one, isn't it? What is the big one that's coming back, Luke? Come on,
sticky bomb.
Yeah. I kind of
some of the variations of it looks kind of funny. They're fun though.
EMP sticky bomb looks cool.
Let's not get carried away. They'll be shit. Skills are always shit in this game.
Hey, we've got that sweet skill revamp.
No, it's a gun game. Just leave it alone.
A lot of people out there would disagree. What else we got?
They're all wrong.
Fog of War. So you're going to have to explore the map to identify points of interest. The map isn't just going to be clearly available to you. That is kind of cool and reminds me of like Dark Souls or something like that.
Have you got anywhere in this humongous script that there's new control points and stuff as well?
There's 8 of them, isn't there?
Because Trick mentioned that on the stream last night. That
there's 8 in New York, is there?
Yeah, 8 control points.
All I know is that there's a huge amount of stuff to do in the open world. So they're bringing all the open world stuff from the Division 2 in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And they're going to be putting it in New York City. You're going to have secrets to find and collectibles. There's probably going to be audio logs, echoes, and all the rest of it. Yep. It's going to be... I even hope they bring like the sound effects for some of those things back. As long as we don't have to chase any drones again like we did in the Division 1. Because looking for some of those were a bit of a bitch.
I actually enjoyed doing that. I'll be honest.
I know you did. When we were doing our shields, you fucking loved those collectibles.
Yeah, man.
I need to get on that. Because you know that's going to be one of those things that's going to come up again. I'd be like, son of a bitch, I wish I'd done that first time. Yeah, we've talked about factions.
Yep.
A little bit. The only difference with the factions, obviously, we joked, I think, whilst we were watching the stream yesterday, that, hey, they're doing what Destiny does, taking old content, revamping it, putting it out as an expansion. And that's kind of unfair credit to, obviously, the Division team, because we're going to a completely different area. We're going to Lower Manhattan. We haven't been there before. Yes, we're seeing the factions come back, but the AI has been revamped. They even look physically different as well.
Don't fucking come out with all that bollocks. All they did was copy and paste and just like cut the arms of the sleeves off a little bit so that they looked like they were in summer clothing. That's all they did. It's dead easy. And then they pressed the delete snow button and then New York was ready.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine if we had the snow though? Do you think people would lose their shit if we had snow?
Yeah, because why would it be snowy in summer?
No, I know, but it wouldn't matter, would it?
I would call them out for that.
It could just be like, oh, this is another 4 months later or something like that, and be like, it's winter now. It's fine. Okay, so what else we got? Yes, there's a couple other things they were talking about. Supply drops, patrolling enemies. Obviously, the whole new thing now is enemy scaling, and you have the freedom of choice to do whatever the hell you want. And once you finish the main campaign, you no longer have to deal with gear score. It is now going to be level what, Robert?
Levels.
The highest level. What's the highest level?
40.
40. Well done. We got that. However, if you don't buy the expansion, you will stay in Washington, D.C. You'll have the maximum level of level 30, and the gear score is getting increased to 515, I believe.
Yes.
How that's going to work between scaling between level 30 and 40 players is going to be interesting, especially in the Dark Zone. But that's a conversation I expect for the future.
Nobody's in the Dark Zone. It won't matter.
Not yet. Not yet. This talk about that in a minute. But yes. basically the level 40 is the new end game. I think that's it really. You can basically jump in and start at level 30 in New York in the expansion.
Yeah, if you haven't played the other game, the other part of the game.
The only thing I will say is they did state that which is really weird, once you start the expansion, you can't return to Washington, D.C. You have to...
Until you finished it.
Yes, until you finished it. Which is kind of weird, but I suppose that's to do with the whole gear score or level situation.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Why would you want to, though?
Well, no. That's the thing. People are going to want to play the brand new content. And
what they did say is, though, that once you finished it, if you then go back to Washington, D.C. and played some of the original map and then go back to New York, once you finished it the first time, you can then swap between Washington and New York whenever you want. So if you just want to go back and kill Vivian again, you could just go back and kill her again and then go back to Washington and so on and so forth. So I think it's just that initial time, obviously, like you say, for the scaling of the levels and gear score and what have you.
Next up, we had a very brief look during some of the gameplay footage yesterday. There's going to be new gear. There's going to be new exotics. There's going to be new gear sets introduced with seasons and the other stuff that's coming with seasons as well.
Yeah, they made an exotic for me.
Yeah, they did. It was Lady Death, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You build up stacks as you move. Or something like that.
Leroy.
Yeah, Leroy's gun.
And then everyone was losing their shit yesterday because the Bullet King has, I believe, an LMG that doesn't run out
of bullets.
That sounds like my sort of jam.
Yeah. And what is it? If you hit 100 shots, then it refills
your team's mags. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of understand the reason behind it, but we were listening to it and it was like, these sound broken as hell, like stupidly overpowered. But then that's what exotics are supposed to be.
Yep.
We haven't seen what the revamped ones are for the division, the ones that are already in Division 2.
The OG ones.
Yeah. I think the Gunslinger one has changed quite a bit. I can't remember what it was, but it did sound quite interesting. I'm interested to see what the BTSU gloves are like now, because they were pretty strong anyway. The one thing we did find out on the stream last night is the fact that exotics, you're going to have that super powerful talent, especially on weapons, and you're going to have 2 additional talents which are random. So it's kind of like you're going to have to grind for like the perfect exotic still, which is kind of cool.
You're going to have to re-grind all your old exotics as well, aren't you? Because you have to get them at level 40 again.
Yeah. The other thing I thought about is, does this mean we need to now upgrade our crafting bench to level 40?
Yeah.
They didn't really say anything about that, did they?
I think that's just might be getting left behind. I don't think we're going to be able to upgrade our old blueprints. But I don't know. They didn't say anything about it, did they?
No.
We will find out soon enough.
Find out in a couple of weeks, yeah. Obviously, we've got the whole Pokedex of attributes coming as well, which is going to be interesting. But it basically, you've got your main campaign for the Warlords, the new zones, the new gear, all the rest of it. That's the main bit. Once that's done, I believe they said 7 days later, we are going to get seasons, which are going to last 12 weeks. You're going to be tasked with hunting down manhunt targets, earn rewards, and it's going to basically be available for all people that have reached level 40. And it's going to allow you to then earn new skill mods and unique seasonal gear by progressing through the seasonal level system. I believe this also ties into the SHD, the new SHD perk system that's been introduced, which is like a whole infinite progression system, which is, they're getting rid of FPCs, field proficiency caches, and basically you're going to be able to invest points into weapon damage, armor, defense, all the rest of it, all the way down to, they talked about scavenging. Was it scavenging last night or today? I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, stuff like that. That it doesn't matter on your build. What you have, that's always going to be there. My worry is if we can respec any of that. I don't know if we're going to be able to.
You would think so.
And
it's like the skill trees on the specializations.
Yes, it's basically an additional skill tree going forward, isn't it? Which is kind of cool.
RPG elements. I like it.
Yes, yeah, it's kind of like they stripped back, it from the gear, but having it on a whole separate thing is kind of cool as well. Rob, what do you think about the seasons? Obviously, you've played Destiny. What do you think about the introduction of seasons to the Division 2?
Yeah, the seasonal model works. It's been proven time and time again, hasn't it? That even Siege has got it now. So, yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the things that we kind of hoped for, that Ubisoft would look towards, really, is the fact that Siege have seasons and they're able to kind of keep bringing players back by introducing new operators and all the rest of it and earning rewards that way. The only thing is you're going to have to pay for the battle pass or season pass or something. I'm not quite 100% on that.
Well, it's the same as Destiny has it. If you pay for the premium of the season, you have the top stuff and the bottom stuff. But if you're just playing it, normally you'll just have the top stuff if you haven't paid for the season.
Yeah, you can still earn. What is it? You can still earn everything on the season, but you just won't get the you'll be able to get all the gear, the weapons, named weapons, and all the rest of it. You just won't get any of the vanity items that go along with that, will you? Also, they're bringing back global events. I think that's starting a week after the seasonal activity, so towards the end of March. We have a lot to do. There's going to be a lot to do. And then there's going to be new gear sets introduced as well on top of that. But they did say yesterday there's no talk about classifieds yet. They have talked about it, but to me, that whole taking the two pieces of gear out for the gear sets is a step towards that. So they're going to have the ability to bring the classifieds into the game in the future, but whether they do or not, that's down to them, I guess.
They must be bringing more gear sets, because otherwise what's the point of the global events? Because global events, unless it's a different thing than Division 1, but the whole point of them was to earn caches and get gear sets.
Yeah.
So, if there's no new gear sets, what's the point?
I think they said there's 100 levels on this season progression system that apparently can be attained over 12 weeks. As if you, my only worry, this is what I was thinking about earlier, is previously we would get FPC caches and you would get your apparel event key from that. Does that mean that system goes away and then we've got the whole separate apparel event?
Apparel events are a thing of the past, I imagine, yeah.
Well, they're still technically part of seasons because it is noted as part of the season. Where is it? Seasonal manhunt targets, reimagined global events. You're going to have leagues with leaderboards so you guys can compete with each other. There's seasonal events and apparel events as well. So, don't know how that's going to work, but I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about that in the future. Luke, are you looking forward to the seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I am actually, yeah, because I obviously, it's not a secret that I don't play Destiny. I've not really played Siege long enough, over an amount of time in a block to get into the seasons on games like Siege and stuff as well. So this will be the first time that I'd really dive into a season. I'm quite surprised to hear that they'll be 12 weeks long, to be honest. That's quite a chunk of time. But, if there's enough to do for 12 weeks to keep everybody happy, then great, I'm all for it.
Oh, it does sound like there's going to be quite a bit there. With the manhunts, you can have a couple of weeks chasing down apparel events, so that'll be something completely different whilst you're honing your build. You have your global events. Are you excited about global events coming back?
Not entirely, no.
They did discuss one of the global events modifiers was what was it, polarity check or something like that, where you're negatively charged until you change your mag or something like that. And I can't remember if it increases damage. I can't remember. I haven't recapped it from yesterday, but it sounds interesting at least.
Interesting, yeah. I'll agree to that. They weren't, they weren't. For me at least, they weren't overly enjoyable in the first game, but they were a means to an end, like Rob mentioned earlier with the classified gear and what have you. So,
I guess it really depends on the gear sets that's actually going to come to fruition with the global events, isn't it?
Well, yes and no. I mean, if the global event itself is fun enough, like the modifiers are actually enjoyable, then I'll just play it anyway. You know, you don't necessarily have to reward me with stuff as long as it's fun.
No, but at least
kind of the whole argument I had with PvP ages ago. Make it fun and I'll just play it anyway. But
yeah.
I mean, if there's incentive to play it regardless of whether it's fun or not, as I said about Division 1's global events, if it's a means to an end, I'll play it. But I would prefer them to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll give it a go for sure.
Before we go any further, there's a couple of things, that we've got the expansion, we've got seasons coming. It feels like they're really trying to, all right, we haven't got any replayable modes that we know of yet, as we've kind of talked about earlier, but there are some things coming back that's, after the whole Gear 2.0 update and all the rest of it, it's going to be interesting to see how these things kind of work out. So, first of all, we're going to get legendary difficulties. These are coming back. We had them in Division 1. These were like the toughest pieces of content that we used to love playing in the Division 1. I'm interested to see if we're going to see hunters back in these game modes. I don't think we will, but I'm interested.
Yeah, they didn't actually announce, because they did give a very brief snippet of a hunter on the stream last night, didn't they? But they did not tell you where they were or what they were doing or what content they'd be part of.
They also said there was going to be hunter-esque AI around.
Whoa. I love that they're bringing legendary difficulty stuff back for a couple of the strongholds. I think that's going to be excellent.
Yeah, so the strongholds that they're going to be available to is, or for should I say, is Roosevelt Island, Capitol Building, District Union Arena. And let's be honest, if they have the statistics, if they see people playing these and they're enjoying it, they'll make more strongholds legendary. They'll make more missions and strongholds legendary content. These were like, this is how you knew how good your team was back in the day. I'm pretty sure. And it was like us three, Boris, all working together, trying to get through. Was it the Times Square? Was it Times Square? What was the mission where you start off at the subway to start with? I can't remember.
No, it was Times Square, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Times Square. That, I remember being a pain in the ass because obviously the first area, and then the bit towards the end with like the fuse and the rest of it. So apparently they've been completely revamped as well, these legendary difficulty strongholds. So they're going to be completely different. And the Black Tusk NPCs are going to be brutal as well, without being so much of a damage, a bullet sponge. But I guess that really depends on how good the Gear 2.0 update is and scaling and all the rest of it. But we'll see.
Outside of playing the raid, doing the heroic strongholds was the most fun I had in Division 2.
Yeah.
So legendary strongholds is going to be fucking awesome.
Yes, it is. I'm really looking forward to that.
It's going to be legendary.
This is another one of those things that IFM, like we've said before, bring legendaries to the game, people will play them, and it's just funny. Directives are coming back, Luke, and you're going to be able to activate up to 5 directives, like not only on a mission but across the entire map.
Global directives.
Global directives. You're gonna, and
isn't they added in global difficulty as well?
Yes, they've added global difficulty. So
you can literally walk around with heroic turned on.
You could make your entire map heroic, and then just for shits and giggles, put 5 directives on as well.
I did.
Yeah, die the second you walk outside the booth.
I did see they had this, like they had a screenshot of this up on State of the Game today, and it was like global difficulty heroic with all the 5 directives on, And I think like some of them's like you get no regen. There's ammo. They're not like the crap ones that we had.
Hey,
underground. Some of them
there was only
great.
one crap one.
Which one? The shock one?
The shock one, yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But there's no regen, so you've really got to like look for medkits and stuff like that. That sounds awesome because that's taking it up like that other difficulty.
What I want to know is when I set my map to heroic.
When?
And then I go and turn a control point into level 4. Technically, what difficulty is it?
Like 7?
That's a good question.
Is it like a secret impossible mode?
You just
where every AI is a
shot.
boss.
Shot by one bullet, you're dead.
But now the challenge is to do it on hardcore mode because you know it's going to be like traversable. But I did see they had an image up. It was like global difficulty was heroic with all 5 directives and was like plus 125% XP. I was like, that's not bad though if you want to get through the season. So it's incentive to play harder content to get the stuff done, and you know, just kind of thinking ahead like that.
Yeah, if you're good enough to play the really difficult content, you'll fly through the season pass.
Yes,
like, really fast. So it rewards the hardcore player, which is kind of clever.
But it definitely feels like that's what they're trying to do because at the end of the day, these are the people that are still playing the game. Yeah,
some of them.
Yeah. Obviously, title update 8 is the expansion itself, but there's a lot of free stuff that is going to be coming, like a huge amount of sandbox changes that we've talked about here for freaking ages. Like
over the last 6 weeks.
Yep, the Gear 2.0, rewatch brand sets, god rolls, core attributes, improved UI systems, powerful talents,
blah. Sorry.
Probably the most important bit to Luke this week, Dark Zone improvements.
You say the word improvement.
I'm really sorry, and I'm sorry to anyone listening.
You should be sorry.
I'm severely fucking disappointed today, right? For a state of the game that we have waited how long for? 6 weeks? 4 weeks?
Try months.
No, but like since they announced it when they were like, we're going to be communicating, here's our roadmap and all the rest of it, and they're like, I know they discussed stuff last night on like the post reveal stream and all the rest of it, but they were like, today is about the Dark Zone. They spent 5 to 10 minutes talking about it, and there's nothing else new, to be honest, and I was severely disappointed. I thought we were going to have like Thylander on there, Terry and Keith possibly. There was none of that.
Did you just mean nothing new, or did you mean nothing new from yesterday?
There's nothing new from yesterday.
Right, yeah. So everything we heard about the Dark Zone, if you were watching long enough yesterday, was repeated today.
Kind of, but not
right.
Not all of it was repeated, to be honest. It was very vague, and for a stream that was supposed to be endgame focused, talking about seasons, global events, all the rest of it, and then talking about the Dark Zone, to have like an hour stream and spend 10 minutes talking about what a lot of the player base is crying out for, been screaming for to be fixed for almost a year, it feels like kind of let down a lot again.
Just deal with it, all right? It's a PvE game now. If you want a PvP, go do something else. Yeah, go and play Tarkov.
That's the thing now. If I were to go and play the Dark Zone, I'll boot up a different game. Because, I've said it on the podcast before, and I will fucking say it again. Escape from Tarkov is the best version of the Dark Zone I'm ever likely to find. No matter what they dress up Dark Zone improvements as, they're not improvements, they're just changes. Because nowhere in any of the stuff that they mentioned yesterday was any of it changing the fundamentals of the PvP. None of it. So they could dress it up all they want. This is the one thing that I will call them out for. I was really disappointed in what they said about the Dark Zone. They've had 6 months to sort this shit out, and all they're doing is turning off Grey Rogue, turning VoIP on as default, and giving you an extra extraction. Like, I could have done that in 5 fucking minutes. What have they been doing?
Yeah, the other thing as well is we're not even getting another Dark Zone area, even though we're heading back to New York. And it would have kind of been cool. Like once we hit level 40, you've completed everything in that area to have like, I don't know, like a weekend scenario, or just have servers with that level, with that, you know, that lower Manhattan as the new Dark Zone. That would have been cool. Whether we see that in the future or not, I don't know, but probably not. I'm sure it's got to be possible, because even one of the laws for one of the districts that you're going to go to used to be a Dark Zone. They were saying it's just kind of sad, but I'm interested to see what happens. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to try it. I tried it last time.
I'll try it, because some of the fundamental changes to loot may improve.
Yeah,
yes,
I think
PvP,
that's their hope, is that Gear 2.0 is going to dramatically change the PvP experience.
But the other side of this, right, is Red Storm have been really quiet for a long time. Now the player base has been shouting for a bigger Dark Zone. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but what if they are working behind the scenes on... They're either working behind the scenes on replayable content, like a Resistance type mode, because that's what they did for 1.8. That was that was Red Storm. Or they're working on another Dark Zone.
Or they're working on a different game.
Or they're working on a different game, which is more likely to be the case. But it's just strange that, you know, Red Storm are supposed to be the front runners of the Dark Zone, and they've been AFK for a long time.
Terry Spear has been very, very quiet on all the socials, hasn't he? Which, to me, says more than any words you could ever say.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think for such a big part of your game, it's kind of sad that it's been left to the side. And I do like the fact, to be honest, the only person I felt that gave an honest answer to was Thylander. Thylander was like, you know, there's no new DZ, but we don't want the Dark Zone to be viewed as a place for everyone. It is a PvP zone now. They've tried it as a PvE/PvP zone. It's not worked. It's a PvP zone. Flawless. And if you go in there, you have to be ready to engage with other players. That's the way they're looking at it now. I like that mentality. Let's keep pushing forward with that. Let's see what changes they kind of bring ahead with that. The only disappointing thing today was Drew said on the State of the Game that the player count will remain at 12. They did test it with 16. I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but apparently it turned into a slugfest whilst they're in the Dark Zone. Is that what you want, though, Luke?
Yes. That's the point.
Yes. So it's kind of funny that they're like... They were like... I think Drew said something along the lines of... you know, you're a player, you go in the Dark Zone, you're losing that kind of tension and all the rest of it. It was like, no, just put... If you have the ability to put 16 players in there, let's try it. Let the community try it. Put it on PTS.
Yeah.
Like in a month's time after Warlords has come out, put it on PTS, let us try it, and we'll give you feedback. It's the only way you're going to sort this out. I don't know. We need to sort it out, really.
It's one of the most regularly seen posts when people complain about the Dark Zone is that there's just the player count just isn't there. Whether that's that the Dark Zones are empty, which we all know they are in their current guise, but you know, you fill a Dark Zone with 12 people. As I said, like when the game first came out, 4 of them are in your own fucking squad. That gives you 8 people to shoot at. It's not enough. No, don't tell me 16 players is too many and it's a slugfest. That's just bullshit.
No, it's the thing is no amount of internal testing is going to tell you how stuff's going to play out in the real world.
Not in a million years.
They've said that themselves. That's how bugs get out there and all the rest of it, because you know you're not thinking about it the same way as players do. I know obviously they try the hardest as they can, but I really do think chuck it on a PTS and try it. What is the harm in trying it? So try it on PC. You don't, maybe not try it for all platforms. As much as I want all the platforms to try it, but it might just be better to try it on a single platform. Anyway, let's get off that.
Snob.
All right. There's Mr. 4 monitors over here. Shut the fuck up.
I've got 8 monitors. What are you on about?
You bought another 4 since I last spoke to you. Fucking hell.
I've just got a wall of them.
I don't know how you get away with that with your missus. Anyway. yeah, that's pretty much it for title update A. There's a lot more, but I'm sure it's going to get recapped over the next couple of weeks and all the rest of it.
There's a state of the games for the next couple of weeks, isn't there, where they're just going to be going over a lot of this.
Yeah, I know we haven't gone completely into detail in a lot of it, but there is a huge amount of information there. I mean, they had a 4 or 3 hours stream last night, and then did a state of the game on stuff today to kind of go over bits again.
About halfway through the stream, I was like, "Can you shut up now?" Not because I wanted to go play Tarkov, but because
I wanted to go play Tarkov.
No, I don't want them to fall on the trap that sometimes game developers do, and they give you too much information. So when you actually get to the game, you're like, "Oh, okay, I already know about this. And there's nothing else to do. I already know about everything."
Yeah. Okay. Before we do kind of leave, kind of discussed. You
are disgusting.
I'm disgusting. Raid is coming in spring. Fuck off. Raid is coming in spring. Are you happy with that? Depending what spring is. So I need someone to look up what the Swedish
it's the same as the English spring.
When does it end then? Because it's like fucking rainy.
When summer starts.
Well, summer never starts, so we're fucked.
English summer is technically June, July, and August.
So there's a good chance that it could be on the 22nd of May.
Yes.
Oh, dude, if it is, I'm going to laugh so much.
Don't worry, you've got 3 months of seasons to play, yeah?
Okay, so the cost of the expansion is about €30, €30, £26. Yeah, depending where you're buying it from. Thoughts, first of all, on having to pay for the expansion. There's been like a whole thing of like, oh, I paid for year one, and
I paid for it twice now.
They said, fucking idiot. They said they weren't going to split the player base up, and all the content was going to be free for year one. I shouldn't have to pay for the expansion, or I've been loyal, so I should get a discount. Like,
really? Fuck off.
Let's be honest. Like, if you've put a lot of time into the game, you've probably got your money's worth.
Dude, even I've got my money's worth. I haven't played it for 4 months.
Also, if you play a lot of Uplay games, you can get 20% off. There you go. There's your loyalty reward.
Spend some of your Uplay points.
Yeah.
Yeah, which brings it down if you're in the UK to about £20.
Yeah.
If you're buying it on PC.
If you're buying the right version, yeah.
Hey, we love all platforms here. It's not our fault if you're on the wrong one.
Says the guy
edition,
says the guy who wants the Dark Zone to only be on PC. Or the 16-player Dark Zone to only be on PC.
Not
we love all platforms.
But you know what it's like with the PTS. It takes like fucking 2 weeks to put a PTS up on consoles.
Whatever. You used to love consoles. You've changed.
I have changed. Hey, we might have coerced another.
Yeah, we might be dragging somebody else off a console as well.
Yes.
So Rob started it, dragged you along, then you dragged me along, then we got Boris and Foxy involved. Now there's Deadlift Dave and Chuck. Doc's on PC as well, isn't he?
So you know what the hilarious thing is? We don't play with anyone. Yeah. Anyway, back on track. Thoughts on having to pay for the expansion, Rob?
I may have bought it while I was watching the trailer before they started the stream. I bought the wrong version.
Which version did you get,
Rob?
Rob?
The Ultimate Edition.
Which gave you what?
Year one pass again.
I got a funny feeling it also gave you the base game again.
Yeah, probably.
What a donut.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Isn't your son building a new PC though? Can he like use the base game and some of the other stuff?
It's on my account.
Right.
Yes, I think he's already got it.
Right. Okay. Never mind.
Luke.
Hi.
Thoughts on having to pay for the expansion? Do you think £25 is worth is it worth paying £25 for the content that
it's an absolute fucking rip-off, and I've been loyal, and I expect a discount.
All right, okay. Compared to the year one pass, how much was the year one pass? What, 25 to £30?
He doesn't know he didn't buy it.
Yeah. Oh, no, he didn't. I can't remember how much I paid for it either.
I bought the Dark Zone edition of the original game because I wanted a statue, and now I will gladly give Ubisoft £20 odd of my money for this expansion. Gladly.
Yeah, because you're getting decent content for it, and we've said it before. Free content is what, Robert?
Shit content.
Paid content is what, Robert?
Great content.
There you go, from the horse's mouth himself.
Nay.
Fuck's sake. I was going to ask, will you buy it, Robert? But I mean, it's too late. You've already bought the ultimate version.
Yeah, apparently for double the price.
I'm buying it the second I get paid.
Yes, I'm gonna use my sweet Uplay points as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna rinse Ubisoft for a bit of discount because I've been loyal, but
yeah,
still.
I did that. I definitely did that.
Yeah, you got a discount on an extra $20 that you didn't need to spend. Dollars? Pounds?
No, euros.
Oh, you paid for it in euros. Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Hashtag Brexit.
My offshore account.
Fucking hell.
Isn't that empty now? You bought 16 monitors.
8, dude.
You bought another 8 since we've been recorded. What's wrong with you? You've got a monitor addiction problem, dude.
He's replacing all the windows in his house with 1440p monitors. Look how beautiful outside looks on my
That's
new
a really
monitor.
good idea, dude. Thanks for that.
Just a heads up for anyone stateside, the Division 2 base game is $3 at the minute. So if you want to pick...
So rip off, don't pay it.
I was going to say, if you want to pick up for a friend or something, pretty fucking cheap.
I can't believe somebody had the audacity to say, I've been loyal, I expect a discount. Who the fuck said that?
You did.
People that bought the
I
year
did,
one
yeah.
pass. People that bought the year one pass are like, I didn't get what I was told or
Yes,
sold.
you did. You got early access.
Yeah,
Read what
I
you're
know.
paying for before you pay for it, Rob.
Never. Do you think? Wait, but this also goes back to what Rob does.
I just got excited.
Electronics.
I got
Right? I
excited.
saw the word. I got excited. I saw the word ultimate, and I hit click.
You hit click.
Buy. I hit buy.
Wait. But this also goes back to Rob, right? You fucking, if it's electronics or something that you're like remotely interested in, you'll fucking research the shit out of it.
I didn't
Other
research the
times-
shit out of this, did I?
No, I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
Clearly.
Other times, then you just like impulse buy The Witcher. Have you played much of The Witcher, Rob?
No.
How many hours is that game? Over 200.
200 hours. Yeah, about the amount of... I laughed at myself the other day. I looked at how many hours I'd spent on Tarkov. I was like, I might have completed... in that amount of time, I could have completed Witcher. Probably twice.
I guarantee you wouldn't have had as much fun.
Yeah, true.
It just made me laugh because you were like, oh, it's fine. It's only like a 10-hour game, right? Oh, wait. No, it's not. Plus all the expansions. Yeah, so the expansion, you need the base game to access it. You get the expansion itself. You get a level 30 boost. You get the level cap increase. And you get the extended end game. If you don't buy the expansion, unfortunately, yes, you are stuck in Washington, D.C. at Gear Score 515 when that comes in. But you do get all the sweet gear changes and all the rest of it coming with it as well, including, I assume, like difficulties and all the rest of it. Do you think this is enough to bring people back, Luke?
Yes. I don't know how long for, but it will certainly bring a lot of people back to start with. The proof of the pudding will be the quality of the content that you actually get and how replayable it is and how engaging it is, yada, yada, yada. But yes, it will bring a lot of people back to start with. The streamers are already going mental over it. I know some of them have been paid for, yada, yada, yada. That's a different argument. Fuck off. But yes, to answer your question, yes.
Yeah, me and Boris were laughing at the fact that and Munition was playing The Division yesterday.
And she is
a Siege streamer.
There you go. I don't need to ask Rob if he's going to buy it. I already know that. Rob, do you think this?
Whoa. Are you going to buy it?
Yes, I need to wait for payday because I'm absolutely skint on it for some reason.
Did you spend all your money on your wife for Friday?
No, I've spent half my money this month on fucking prescription tablets, but
Did you buy a new monitor as well?
No, I didn't buy another monitor.
It's just me then.
If I did, I would have sold the previous one.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch any of that as the lung you're coughing up was in the way.
Yeah, apparently I've got bronchopneumonia. And last week I had scarlet fever, so it's going to be interesting to find out what I've got next week.
See, Mike's one of those people that can't just have a cold. He's got to have scarlet fever or broncho, whatever the fuck he just said.
Bronchitis.
Anybody got time for that? Yeah, the downside is I keep having to buy fucking ibuprofen, fucking prescriptions every other fucking week when they make up their mind. But there we go.
You should ask for a discount because you're loyal.
Can I use my Uplay points on this? Do I think this is enough to bring people back? Yes, I think there's enough to bring people back, judging by the amount of hype we've had on social media and all the rest of it. And there's people out there that love the Division that aren't even part of, Reddit and Twitter and all the rest of it. And they love the game no matter what. And they have, I've got a friend at work that's like, how do I play it? How do I play it? I'm like, you need to hurry up and get to, World Tier 5. He's still in World Tier 2. And he's straight up like, I saw the trailer, I'm going to buy it straight away. Because it's 25 quid. It's great.
I'm hoping they steal from Destiny a bit more and attach certain things to each season. Because Destiny has like titles that you can put under your name in game. If they do something like, well, not like that, but maybe something similar, I don't know, a rank maybe, then you've got something, because that would take you the whole of the season to achieve, because you have to do a load of commendations and stuff that would be tied to it. That's how Destiny does it. So that would keep the hardcore players playing, and the content that obviously there's going to be like some kind of roadmap for each season, I would assume. And people are going to like log back in every week just to do that. So it's going to keep the player base up, which is nice for like, everyone.
Returning players and stuff like that. Yeah. And you think that there's going to be a lot of people jumping on now that there's like the game's $3 in the States. Obviously it's not that price elsewhere, but you can pick it up pretty cheap elsewhere, just not from...
That's why this model works, because it keeps your player base constant, I guess.
The only downside is I've heard that the Destiny Season Pass thing isn't working too well at the minute. There's not a lot of content. Do you think that's going to be the case again with the Division in the future?
That's just because they've had a shitty season. And they can't, but then they can't bring out a raid every season.
No, because they need time to work on it, don't they?
Yeah. Okay. But it might happen with Division. We'll have to wait and see.
Thoughts on people returning to the game after a long hiatus, or who gave up on the game after launch, e.g. streamers, etc. Roberts.
Okay.
Luke?
Couldn't give a shit. People can play what they want. My only problem with people when they leave the game is that they set all the bridges on fire as they leave. Burn all the bridges that they've got, trash the game, call it shit, whatever, blah, 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 and then come back and get paid to do it. But, I mean, that's a different argument for a different time.
It's free publicity.
Yeah. Well, if people want to leave and play other games, like we have, that's what I'm saying. We've done it. We'd made absolutely zero secret of the fact that we're not playing the Division because we ran out of things to do and got bored with it.
But we will say the mistake I felt we made with the Division 1 is we played that game every single day for 3 years, pretty much, right? And
how was that a mistake?
Not a mistake, but it got to a point where we were seeing repeated things in the life cycle of the Division 2 that we went through with the Division 1 and being frustrated with it. And it's kind of like, I can't play the game when it's in this state. I need to go play something else. Otherwise, I'm just going to get pissed off. You know what I mean? And having that kind of mentality, having a break, coming back to the game, when there's DLC dropped, or there's updates, or the raid and things like that. It's been kind of eye-opening how, like, Rob, you got a brand new monitor and you're like, holy fuck, look how beautiful this game is. You know, on my 8 monitors in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters about people coming back. And obviously, if the more people that view the game and are, you know, open it to the community, to their communities, like from a streamer's point of view, then it's bringing more players in.
Do you know what's worse than people coming back to play the game? It's people who call people out for coming back to play the game. Fucking hate people with that mentality. Oh, they've made the game better, but I'm the only person who's allowed to play it because I stayed around and played it when it was bad. Fuck off.
Those are the same people asking for a discount, right?
I mean, that's pretty poor as well, yeah.
Hey, look, if you didn't read what was on the instructions, maybe you shouldn't be doing the thing. Finally, do you think... with this update, I know. All right, I know it's difficult, but with this update, do you think the developers have listened to the feedback and the criticisms that we've had over the last year for this expansion?
Just say criticisms one more time.
Criticisms, fuck off. Being honest, can
you say chameleon again as well?
Chameleon.
Charmeleon.
Stop criticizing your chameleon.
Can't see it, it's changed colour. Carry on, Mike.
Answer the fucking question.
You didn't finish the question.
Do you think this expansion is a love of all the feedback that us as players, as a community, have given to the developers? They've listened, and this is what we've got as a result. Like, as part of a result. It does feel like they've listened a lot. I was just going to call you out on that. It's part of a result. Part of the result. The Dark Zone. Apart from the Dark Zone, yeah, we'll forget that. We'll just gloss over that. Yeah, it's. I think it's part of what they're doing. I think this was planned all along, to be honest.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think the Loot 2 or Armor 2.0 was planned.
No, I'd agree with that. I think massive paid-for DLC was not a decision they made a couple of months ago. This would have been either in the very original internal roadmap or very, very, very quickly after release to go, hey, we sold quite a few copies of this game, but not quite as many as we wanted to. I reckon a paid-for DLC will fix the gap in revenue. But also, we needed progression, didn't we? We've been stagnant, like in World Tier 5 for how long? You know, we've got no progression. Now we've got new expansion. You're going to have the open world stuff to do. We've got a new level cap. Does that mean at some point in the future we're going to get another world tier or a raised level cap? Don't know. That might come as part of seasons. Trying to think, what else have we got? You got global events. There's more stuff to chase after than we ever had in the first year. And the only downside that I feel like we had in the first year is the fact that it was kind of like, well, the game's there. The whole world's like live now. There's so much to do with the open world now. We'll be fine, right?
No,
but it wasn't enough. No. I think the only mistake made is the fact that it doesn't matter how much content that they put into the game, people will burn through it no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter how much is there. You're always going to have those people that hit that content and smash it. I mean, how many hours are you at on Tarkov, Rob?
I don't know. I haven't checked in a while.
1,000?
No.
500?
No.
400?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I can't guess. Between 200 and 300, probably.
Okay. Right. Anyway, that's news done for today. Questions and feedback very quickly. Okay, so I threw out a tweet on Twitter earlier asking for your thoughts on the expansion and basically what you guys thought. Luke, do you want to take the first one and alternate from there?
What, from Doc?
Yeah.
I'll read Chuck's. Yeah.
Doc says, you're going to read Chuck's, are you? No, Quincy's yours. Warlords looks great. A little Watch Dogs-y, but good. Beyond happy to see what looks like are the Rikers back. all that work on factions in Division 1 and the comic. It's a shame we've got just a few of them here in Division 2, so I'm happy to see the Rikers come back. Now give me back a Barrett's vest as something I can wear.
I want Rob's RNG on that again.
Doc's actual question to us is, what do you guys think of the potential for organized rogues, as in the cinematic trailer, as an NPC faction in Division 2 going forward?
It's interesting, for sure. The only thing is, how would that work with regards to PvP, or would it not matter, do you think? Technically, we're chasing rogues down anyway, as a story point of view.
You said an NPC faction.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So technically, we were already chasing down rogues, so it could happen, couldn't it?
Mm. That could be the Hunter-esque AI that they...
I was just thinking that,
made a hint towards, wouldn't it? That'd be sweet, actually.
Yeah.
Now you turn the whole map onto heroic mode, and every once in a while a rogue agent just turns up behind you and tries to stab you in the chest or something.
Oh, dude. You get hit by Seekers by something like, what the fuck was that?
You know, you know how your camera goes a bit fuzzy when there's a hunter nearby? They'd have to do something else with your screen when there's a rogue agent nearby. Like,
maybe
Isaac pops up on your wrist and says, rogue agent nearby.
But you're like, I'm not in the dark zone.
EMP'd would be cool.
That would be cool, because it'd be outside the dark zone as well.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Rob?
What do you want?
Go for it.
Oh, fuck. Almost got out of it. Quinch says, it's certainly reignited my keen for the end game, mainly because it's...
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Because it's not end game, but more story, I guess. I'm very excited, and it seems they've used some mechanics from Wildlands. Yeah, we said that. With regional controls. Can't say... You're right? That's a bad thing. As long as they don't make Div 3 a disaster like Breakpoint. Assuming there will be a Div 3. Taking the best of Division and some good points from Wildlands is a nice idea. I'm a little concerned that moving from DC to NYC is a one-way ticket until you've completed it, though. You can lock down someone's favorite avatar, but it's an inconvenience rather than a game killer. I have a question about how we move from gear score to level and maybe back again when we finish New York City. Or is the idea we just stay in New York City now? I don't know. That's a very good question, actually. How's that going to work? What is your gear score going to be when you go back to him? I guess you won't have one. It'll just be... I don't know.
I think the idea is that once you buy the expansion and you go to New York City, and this is just how I understood it, I could be completely way off base here, but my understanding of it is that once you go to New York City, you leave your gear score behind and you are a level 30 agent that's then working its way up to level 40. And then once you finish the New York City expansion and you're allowed to go back to DC, you stay at level 40 because you're already way past what gear score 515 power level would be.
They don't worry with gear score anymore after that.
Yeah, that was my understanding of it. But like I say, it could be wrong. Or it could change in the future. Maybe you get to level 40 and then they go, right, everybody's at level 40. Here's gear score 600.
Yeah. Does that mean the gear that you pick up has not a gear score, but a level?
Yes.
That would be my assumption, yes.
Yeah.
Again, could be completely wrong.
But there's something we didn't also mention as well, was the fact that both the current raid and the new raid that is coming are going to have two difficulties going forward. You will have the level 30 and a level 40 version of those raids.
Well remembered.
And I'm assuming that the gear that you get from that is going to be dependent, obviously, what level you are going into that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully this is something they clear up on future State of the Games, because it is a little ambiguous at this point, isn't it? People are just making assumptions. So,
well, the thing is, there's so much info. They said they could have just kept going all night on all the details, but there's always going to be stuff that they haven't thought about all the rest of it. Chuck says he doesn't have any questions at the minute, but he just wants to say much love, fellas. Aww. Much love to you, dude.
Cheshire Cat says, once the expansion drops, you may never see her again. She's going to ride off into the sunset with Kina. Yeah, she did put a tweet out earlier, and she dropped the picture in our Discord as well.
I saw that.
She's photoshopped her face onto a body of a bride that's then been moved very, very close to Aaron Keener as if they're snuggling in, and the picture of the bride's got a wedding ring on and whatever. So I think Cheshire Cat may have a bit of a crush on Aaron Keener. I mean, I'm not sure. But seriously, though, she's so looking forward to the expansion, excited about all the things I've heard so far, and she wants to test all of them.
Nice one. Rob, do you want to take Boris's question?
No. You read it.
What is the single... Boris asks, what's the single most exciting piece of news from this week that you're all looking forward to? Content. I'm looking forward to playing... I think I'm looking forward to playing with you guys again in the Division.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to playing on one of my 8 monitors.
Which one? How will you ever choose?
I don't know.
One of the top right-hand side. So far away so you can't fucking see it. And
see, if you'd have stopped at 7, you could have just had one for every day of the week, but you've gone to 8. So how do you choose?
I don't know.
Second question, he says, can just one of you give Mike some medicine so he can actually make it to March the 3rd? Yeah, that would be nice, please.
Not giving you a discount, though.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Rob, do you want to take Parsifal's question? Or feedback? The quicker you do it, the quicker we can end the show.
All of it. Let's go. Really want to hear guys' opinions. Well, you just did. Did you pick up any IFMs in these changes? Of course we did.
Always thinking of IFMs, dude.
But the weird thing is, it's like we've joked for 3 years about a flamethrower being in the game. Lo and behold, hey, look, there's a flamethrower in the game. We joked about directives being across like all the missions. Hey, look, there's directives across all the missions. There's an expansion we never thought we'd see. Hey, what if we ever went back to New York? How cool would that be? And it's, yeah, I'm not saying it's all us, but it's just funny that our IFMs or ideas in general kind of relate to the direction that they're thinking a lot of the time.
Yeah. We're just really good at guessing stuff.
Yeah, we're really good at guessing stuff. Luke, dude.
Thomas Obika Thompson says, I'm looking forward to not being able to play activities when the people who do not buy the new update, level 30 and level 40, cannot play together. Wait, that came out wrong. I do not look forward to this. The servers are going to feel more empty than ever if this splits the community. To which Frederick Thylander, king of Division 2 Twitter, simply replied, 30 and 40 can play together. Full stop. Simple as that.
However, we don't know how that's going to work out in the dark zone.
We don't know, but that is that's why we say a lot when we record these podcasts that these are, when we make assumptions that they are our assumptions and yada yada yada.
Speculation radio.
It is very easy to get proven wrong in.
There's normalization in the dark zone, right?
Those tweets were 8 minutes apart.
Anyway, Ridercom says buying in, yes, like it all and where it's going. Wish I bought it at $2.99, but new players need more opportunities. More investment in the game is going to be good. What is apparent that they are listening. Most all additions to gameplay can be traced back to Thylander himself, which I think is he's been pretty much on the ball with communication over the last 3 months. He's the one out there fighting every day on Twitter. I know you have the other community representatives, but to be honest, Thylander is the one out there, trying to have these conversations with people, which he's going to want to do because he's one of the 3 Cs for the division. Anyway, Rob, you want to take Spurs one?
I really liked the look of the Warlords, and I can't wait to go back to New York City and hunting Keener. But if they kill him off now, I really want to talk to the UB Massive creative manager about how moronic that is. What's your opinion on this?
Who wants to take that? Luke?
I honestly don't think we'll kill him.
I don't know, because Trick Dempsey kind of spoiled something on the stream they did last night. So, don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I hope we don't kill him. I'm hoping it's like it feels like a huge thing to be like, we finally gonna introduce you to Keener and you're gonna kill him.
Maybe you kill him and then you find out he's actually an animatronic robot.
From Westworld. Perfect. Luke, do you want to take Skumas?
Skooma says that there is a fair amount of reluctance to buy, I think, based on the year one content thus far. If we did a report card based on promised and actual delivered, I think it's fair to understand why the reluctance. I mean, I can understand why people would be reluctant to buy it if they bought the year one pass. But you did technically get what you paid for from the year one pass. You got early access.
Yeah, but there was a couple of things missing as well, like fucking stash space and all the rest of it, which shouldn't have ever been in a thing in the first place.
You did get that, but then they just gave it to everybody else as well as.
Yeah, I know, and that was the weird thing. Rob, do you want to read the next one?
Yes, I'm ready to hunt down Keener.
Says Three Fingers 60. Josh Crowder says, looking forward to it with such a new area and so much new content. I hope there will be suggested weekly content or matchmaking to help the game not feel too spread out. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. But let's be honest, a lot of the community are going to rinse through the 5 missions, the 8 side missions, and it really kind of depends. I mean, it could be a case that last mission with Keener is a stronghold, or each one of them is a stronghold. We don't know until it drops. And Bullet 2019 says, looks amazing. I just want to cross save. I play on all 3 platforms where I want to play, but I can't because my main build is on PS4, but I also want to play on PC when I'm solo. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I kind of want cross save or cross play at least, because I've got a few people that I'm friends with on other consoles, and it's kind of difficult to play with them because of that. It would be kind of nice. We had that.
Yeah, we'll just persuade them to buy a PC. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
I mean, we are slowly working through our entire PlayStation 4 friends list, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anyone else wants to join us on the PC side, you're more than welcome. Final feedback for today comes from I am at D on Twitter. Says, can't wait, but I have one concern. I've noticed that stability is mentioned more than once. Second piece of Fenrest gives you 10%, and in shade level miscellaneous section, is a plan to change the way the weapon stability is now, or will it remain the same? I like the way it is now. I guess we're just going to have to find out when the update drops. TU8 drops on the 3rd of March, which is 3 weeks away. And that is pretty much it for feedback today. Thank you so much for your feedback today. It's hugely appreciated.
Thank you so much for listening to this super long episode. Yeah,
thank you so much. It's been a while. We're making up for last week, Rob. Before we do go, have you seen the image that I put at the bottom?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, so there is a friend referral rewards. If you refer a friend, you get access to what looks to be what, Robert?
Vanity stuff.
Yeah, what are you though?
A hunter.
I felt like that was really difficult to ask you.
I purposely made it difficult, Mike.
Okay, that's fine. It looks pretty cool. It's yellow. You get the mask. There's a vest, trousers. It looks badass as hell.
You look like a hunter, a bumblebee hunter.
Yes. Apparently people have been losing their shit a little bit over the fact that you can only get it through friend referral rewards on Twitter.
I was just thinking, as we do a podcast that is listened to by 1 or 2 people a week, can we get these friend referral rewards? Because almost certainly we've convinced a couple of people to buy the game over the 3 years we've been doing this podcast.
Well, I was going to say, if you don't,
please.
Well, yes. If you're interested, send us a message at sitrapodiopod@gmail.com, even though I don't normally read that one out. But Yannick has actually made an announcement on Twitter that there is a second full black version of the outfit that is to be made available in the game outside of the referral program, and he's going to find out where you can get it tomorrow.
I want to be a bumblebee hunter.
It's fine because you
Make
can
some
get
friends then, dude.
You can get those sweet dies to go on it that Drew was kicking off about.
All the friends I have already played the game, and I don't like any of them anyway. Why would I want to make more friends?
I mean, I've been helping someone else build a PC this week, so,
Yeah, but he's Welsh.
So's Rob.
What's that got to do with it?
Anyway, that is it. Thank you to everyone who sent me questions and feedback this week. If you've listened this far, Roberts, where can the listeners find us?
If you've listened this far, then why?
Who cares where they can find us?
If you
I certainly don't. I read this every fucking week.
You don't. You didn't read it last week.
Nope.
I did. You just weren't around when I said it.
You read it after the A&A meeting that we were supposed to go to.
Not a chance you read this in your spare time.
I was practicing. Right?
Yeah, it really shows that you practice.
You can find us over at Civic Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as our personal accounts. Send any questions or feedback for the show to CivicRadioPod@gmail.com. I already said that. I shouldn't have said it. Didn't need to. Or you can find us on Discord. The link's in the show notes. We want to hear your thoughts on the news and topics we cover, so be sure to leave a comment and join the discussion in those places. Luke?
I have one last piece of feedback to give, and it's feedback directed just at you two.
Is it for my absolute ruination of the end of the podcast?
Ruination? Is that another word you're making up?
Yes.
English, according to Mike. No, this person will remain anonymous. However, they are one of our mod team on Discord. When I was really ill, he asked me how the Ebola was. And yada, yada, yada. That's not the important bit. Basically, he told me to get better soon because Mike and Rob are a train wreck on the podcast when I'm not around. I just wanted to share that with you and apparently everybody else.
Well, we're glad to have you back as well. I feel like we did good. It was like the old days. Rob got drunk and I said some shit.
Did you make up words last time as well?
Yeah.
Like ruination and whatever that word was at the start of the podcast that isn't English either.
No, I would have called him out on it if he'd done that.
No, you were too drunk by then, dude.
Possibly.
Anyway, please leave a review of the show using the podcast app of your choice. We really do enjoy reading them all. The feedback is excellent. See, I need to practice. And at the end of the day, it does actually help other people to find our show. If you listen all the way to the very end of this podcast, you'll hear all the juicy details about the other awesome shows that are available on the Mash Those Buttons network, the network that we are part of. Thank you.
Before we do move on, just a quick thank you. I can't remember who put up the review, but we did have an awesome review beginning of this month, just saying that they loved our banter on the podcast and we should talk more about Tarkov because there's not that many podcasts that talk about Tarkov. Don't worry, we probably will.
Didn't you have a review a couple of weeks back, and I forget when, but that said something akin to that about the banter being good, but he wanted to see he basically wanted you to put the podcast on YouTube so you could see our faces when we take the piss out of each other.
Yes, we did try doing something for YouTube, but it didn't work out, and Rob's lazy, so that sunk.
Both those things are true.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the future. But yeah, we'll probably end up talking more about Tarkov in the future and the news that goes along with that, because there's obviously going to be dry moments in the division along the way. So as good as the content news is now, it's quite a meaty episode, an hour and 40 minutes at the minute. I'm sure we'll hit hard times ahead in the future. So we'll also
so optimistic.
I know, it's good, isn't it?
Love it.
We've got another 193 episodes of this shit to do.
190.
Actually, if we do another 207, we'll be on 400 episodes. Just saying.
Let's make it to 200 first, please. It took fucking
Won't be long now, dude.
3 weeks for you to come back. So
hey,
a week off.
By the time TU8 launches, we'll be on episode 196.
Rob's like, shut the fuck up so we can end the podcast. You could just
I know,
see it on his
I'm just
face.
doing this on purpose. He's going to
fine.
break one of his 19 monitors soon.
I honestly wasn't thinking that.
Yes, you were.
No, you're not.
No.
Oh, wait. I know what he's thinking. He needs another bottle of wine. His wine's empty.
He's like, where did the rum go?
His wine's not empty. Wow. Rob, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you catching Mike's Ebola?
I just said it's my turn to be ill next.
I didn't hear that. I was ignoring you.
You're talking over me, bastard.
I mean, we could just fill it with awkward silence.
Yes. Mission
We don't
accomplished.
just throw this shit together, by the way, guys. We've
This is
rehearsed
practiced.
this.
Just like my script.
We rehearsed the awkward silence. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know the funny thing
what
is...
we did last week? We didn't talk to each other for a whole week.
The funny thing is, I can't get
That
these
was
two
just
cunts to fucking shut up when I'm playing Tarkov, when I'm trying to hear footsteps coming around the corner. They just fucking gibber, gibber, gibber. Fucking press record on a podcast, it's just silent gap after silent gap.
That's what last week's podcast was. It was just...
A mess.
No, you ruined it. You should just shut your mouth. You're supposed to leave silent. We didn't do one, so it was just silence. It was just one big awkward pause. Oh, never mind. You ruined the joke because you talked.
Right.
Still don't understand it.
Have you finished, you drunk fuck?
I'll be
Wow,
honest,
dude.
I now want you to finish the podcast so I can go and play Tarkov, so just get on with it.
We do live stream as often as we can, even though we haven't streamed in a long time. But I think we'll be back playing some Division, so.
You think?
Yeah. So you can find us all over at twitch.tv/SitRepRadio if you're interested in dropping by. You can also find us over on Twitter as well. Like, subscribe, all that shit. And YouTube, Rob puts up the podcast up over there. We have been SitRepRadio agents. Thank you very much for listening all the way to this point if you have, and we will catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sequence complete. Security protocols deactivated. Server data replaced and CPU destroyed. Terminating connection in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction complete.